the American Rescue Plan, or ARPA, anniversary. And so here we have Rachel Fuller, one of our assistant county administrators. Please take it away.
Great. Thank you, Chair Harrington. Commissioners, good morning. Dorian Russell is joining us virtually today and will make the presentation to commemorate the American Rescue Plan and the work done with those funds on behalf of the community. Following her brief presentation, we want to take a moment to share a data dashboard with you that we put together. This has really been a cross-departmental effort to communicate the work from the American Rescue Plan. And really, I think what we hope you'll see is that this is applicable beyond ARPA. And so before we launch this to the public, we just wanted to take a moment to share it with all of you. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dorian.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm really excited to be providing our first look for our data dashboard today. Clerk Moss, could you pull up the presentation, please? Thank you so much. And for the record, my name is Dorian Russell. I am the ARPA Program Manager for Washington County. Happy to be here today to mark the anniversary of the passage of ARPA in Congress. Next slide, please. For folks in the audience, the American Rescue Plan Act was a sweeping piece of legislation that provided for businesses, for education systems, for households, and also local governments to respond to and recover from the pandemic. Next slide, please. Well, we think of ARPA in terms of the county's ARPA funding. People may also know ARPA from receiving individual stimulus checks, the child tax credit, and so many other items that helped us to get out of that emergency period. Next slide, please. In terms of local impact, Washington County was not the only recipient of ARPA. The impact was really vast throughout our communities, with city governments also receiving ARPA allocations. Next slide, please. In terms of where we've been, last week you received an update regarding the COVID Day of Remembrance. It's important to note that we've lost over 1 million lives in the United States due to COVID-19. ARPA followed CARES Act, and we took those immediate response learnings into our ARPA strategies. We've really used Tranche 1 as a balance of both response and recovery progress. And as you know from your discussions and planning for Tranche 2, we continue to work toward community resilience. Next slide, please. A couple of highlights you may have seen in our quarterly reports. On this slide here, I'll highlight that we've distributed over 52,000 COVID-19 testing kits, primarily to culturally specific CBOs. Next slide, please. And now the most exciting piece, in my opinion, I'm happy to share here the very first outcomes tracking dashboard in a centralized manner. We're using ARPA as a pilot, as Rachel Fuller mentioned here, to potentially use this in the future for your strategic plan. And I believe I have the ability to share screen, which I'm going to do to give you a sneak peek. Could I get a thumbs up or someone to confirm that you're seeing my screen? Yes, I'm seeing nods. Fantastic. So if you go to the Washington County ARPA webpage, you're able to click on our ARPA performance dashboard. And the structure of this is directly emulative of your Tranche 1 framework, and you can see every single project and program that you've invested in and outcomes to date. I'll just provide one example here of your vaccination page to give you a taste of what this looks like. You can look at the description of every single project and program, major outcomes, trends, both in terms of project outcomes and spending in this platform. And so I'm excited to invite you to go through and look at the really great outcomes we've had, both in response and recovery and working toward resilience. Clerk Moss, could I get that presentation back up, please? Thanks so much. Next slide, please. As a reminder, your ARPA portfolio has received multiple national level awards, and this is a testament to your board's leadership throughout critical emergency time, and really just want to affirm that the strategies that you've taken this far have gone noticed in our community and beyond. Next slide, please. In terms of where we're headed, as a reminder, your board has indicated wanting to center the theme of resilience moving forward. I'll be back in front of you again on March 21st for another conversation on your Tranche 2 priorities. And we intend to have board action in April in terms of implementing the second phase of your work plan. Next slide, please. I wanted to keep today very brief. Wanted to mark the anniversary and really give you that first look at the ARPA dashboard. But for additional information, we have a wealth of outcomes presented in our annual report, quarterly reports, and of course, that brand new performance tracking dashboard. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
I'll kick us off. On the, oh dear, let me get back to the slide. On the slide, I think it was number 8, titled Washington County is an ARPA Best Practice Leader. I think there's some recognition that perhaps I didn't realize. I was aware of the Results for America participation, but this Good Jobs and Equity Fellowship is new to me, I think. What did I miss? Dorian, could you or Ms. Fuller speak to that?
I'd be happy to provide some context, and then Rachel, if you'd like to jump in. We've been invited to 2 different national level cohorts because of that perfect score in our assessment regarding our ARPA framework. We've been seen as a leader throughout different parts of our portfolio. And so this is a disciplinary specific cohort with cities and counties and even states from across the country who have economic development programs funded by ARPA that they're using to advance economic outcomes in their communities. And so I'm participating in this in partnership with Adrienne Chalet and Matt Craigie and other staff for multiple other departments to share best practices and learnings from economic development programs focused on recovery nationwide. It is an honor to be included. Once again, we're punching above our weight class here, joining the likes of King County, City of Atlanta, states including Colorado. I'd be happy to provide full detail about the program, but it really is an honor to be among just a few select jurisdictions participating in this fellowship. Rachel, anything to add there?
Actually, Chair Harrington, I will add additional context. Time does go by quickly, doesn't it? I know this information was shared with your board in 2022, but we definitely will reshare this information. This is through Results for America, which is a philanthropic nonprofit who are providing technical resources, so training to local governments. This is also a strategy that we are looking at here in Washington County to continue to, I'll say, kind of bolster how we are partnering with these national associations to bring these technical trainings and resources to staff in service to the community. In my experience, many of these organizations are often focused on cities, and that's where my prior working experience with Results for America comes in. However, they are seeing Washington County, due to the diversity of the makeup of the county and our service portfolio, as being kind of one of those agencies to watch in the future. So it's a great opportunity.
Exemplary. And so I missed that it wasn't just one national recognition, but 2 areas. So that's the real learning for me. Another light bulb going off. That's all.
We are continuing to have conversations with Results for America and some of their I'll call it brother-sister organizations on how to continue to advance our data work here at Washington County, similar to how they've invested in cities in the past.
Well, and I want to compliment my colleagues here because I believe we tried to be forward-looking with the ARPA investments. And so it's really gratifying to see that how you've leaned into investing in community and furtherance in a more longer sustaining manner it's doing the work. So thank you. There's been a lot of patience on this board to be quite thoughtful in the investment frameworks, and we've been all in supporting our staff to do the work. So thank you.
And the staff has done excellent work in the process.
Yep, yep. It's wonderful to see you all get that recognition. Thank you. Do any other board members have any questions or comments you'd like to ask at this stage?
I'd just like to say thank you to Rachel and Dorian again, because we have been working through the Tranche 2 process, and we have not let you off easy on that. So we continue to be wise with us and certainly visionary, and we thank you for your patience as we go through this. This has been a tough challenge, so thank you.
We look forward to the conversation on March 21st, and we wouldn't be here if we weren't being pushed. So appreciate that. Appreciate the partnership.
Thank you for showing us the dashboard. In preparing for today's meeting, I did go back to see if I caught all the information that had previously gone by, and I've already revealed I didn't catch all of it, right? One of the things I appreciated having was the one-pager on the American Rescue Plan 2021, sort of annual report in summary, because it helps remind me when I'm out in the community or in different meetings where folks may say, well, what about us? You know, we have needs too. You know, we've tried to be very thoughtful in going through our decision-making and our empowerment of our staff, but having these summaries really does help, I think. So I look forward to our continued decision-making together.
Great.
Thank you so much, Dorian, and to Ms. Fuller for bringing this forward to us today.
Thank you.